Now, Sports Talk with Brodes. Here's Hunter Brody.
What is going on, everyone? Welcome to Sports Talk with Brodes. I have 3 words for you. Are you ready? I don't know if you're truly going to be able to handle this. Feel the shake! Oh, yes! Feel the shake! That's what I was doing the whole damn time watching that game because it was nonstop scoring for the Orange and the Black as they produced 6 goals, and Joel Farabee was outstanding. You know, I was actually asked the other day, who are you looking at the most on this roster to take a big step from last year to this year? And my answer was Joel Farabee. You remember that trade between the Blues and the Flyers, Braden Shen and Joel Farabee, Morgan Frost. At the end of the day, those were the pieces packaged up, and you had so much expectations for these two guys. Morgan Frost is up and coming for sure, but Joel Farabee, he was raw last year, but you saw his speed, you saw his explosiveness. You know that he can make plays as well, a fantastic playmaker, and he can bury. He showed all of that in this game, logging in power play time. This squad actually produced on the power play. I couldn't believe it. Gustafsson throwing rockets on net, getting tipped by JVR, which is his bread and butter. He just sits in front of the blue paint and utilizes his stick to tip in pucks nonstop. And Nolan Patrick, how about it? He finally gets back on the ice, and he puts himself in a position to take away the netminder's eyes. And oh, by the way, it ends up hitting him and going in. So he was able to score a goal. I mean, it's wild to see the power play be successful. It's wild to see this team thrive just like they didn't skip a beat. Joel Farabee stepping up, 4-point performance. What you saw out of Farabee was magnificent. All over the place. I mean, it's not as if the guy's just getting random secondary assists. On the goal, for the power play goal, Gustafsson's first one to tie the game up 1-1 in the first period, the fact that he utilizes the wall, banks it off the wall with his backhand to get the puck up to the point for you to be able to reset and get going, and for Gustafsson to put a laser on net. I mean, it's just great knowledge. You want to work the points, right? You want to get the puck up high, utilize the space, walk the blue line, take away the goalie's eyes. But you can totally mess up doing that if he tried to use his forehand, if he tried to use the middle of the ice to reset and get the puck up. There's a possibility that the Penguins pick it off and go the other way, or at least dump it down the ice so the Flyers now have to regroup and retry and enter the zone to set up on the power play again. But for him to use his backhand, use the wall, it's about the knowledge of the game, the little things. Man, I'm really impressed. I really am. 6-3, great outcome. By the way, we are broadcasting live from the Manscaped Man Cave. Get 20% off and free shipping with the code BROD at manscaped.com. The Anytime Hotline was buzzing after the game, so we're absolutely going to get to your thoughts on the 1-0 start for the Orange and the Black. Oh, I'm so fired up if you can't even understand that I don't know what's wrong with you. Because you should be able to hear it in my tone. This squad has me super excited. All right, so as I mentioned, they were down 1-0 in the first period. I was a little annoyed because I saw a 2-on-1 opportunity between Travis Konechny and Sean Couturier. Didn't go as planned. The first couple of shifts, I'd say the first 5 minutes of the game, I actually liked the pace 5-on-5 for the Flyers. The Penguins had an opportunity here or there or so, but you know, I really enjoyed the pace that the Flyers were playing with. Then somehow, some way, there's a little bit of a defensive breakdown. Jankowski ends up scoring, backdoor, he kind of gets open. I thought Carter Hart made this stellar save, but when you saw the replay, it hit the back of the twine and popped out pretty quickly. I didn't like Justin Braun defensively prior to Jankowski getting the puck, backdoor-ish. there was a breakdown clearly for him to even be wide open, but Justin Braun, there were tight turns involved, and Justin Braun couldn't really stay with the forward. And that's one thing that I'm a little concerned about is that top line with Ivan Provorov. Matt Niskanen was such a loss. And Justin Braun, at the end of last year, he's a 5th, 6th D-man. And look, he has a role, right? It's annoying to think you gave up a second and a third for this guy, and I don't know if they planned on bringing him back, but once they found out the news of Matt Niskanen, they were pretty much tied, and they had to make that move, right? Like, you had to bring back this veteran defenseman, and fine. Like, I understand that he has a role, but to go from a 6D man who is a stay-at-home guy, makes a simple play, a little bit of a step behind based off of his age and his footwork isn't really there, to filling in Matt Niskanen's role, I didn't really like that. And for it to play out the way that it did, for the Penguins to get on the board early, and you're seeing tight turns involved, and I'm watching Justin Braun give up some time and space. I'm nervous about Braun. I went back and checked the time on ice. You saw some of those second D pairings playing and logging in more minutes than him. I'm sure Alain Vigneault was just as aware of the situation as I was, but that's something I'm absolutely going to keep my eye on as games continue. What is Justin Braun's role going to be? How many minutes is he going to log? Because I just don't see him as a top D-bearing guy. I was concerned with him last season. But the Flyers tied it up. They ended up getting the power play. They scored on that. And then right before the period ended is when they were able to, bang, take the lead 2-1 with Nolan Patrick's little tippage in front that it hit him and it got in the back of the net. Gustafsson with another one. This one was set up by Joel Farabee. I love the pass. It wasn't as noticeable as the one where he banked it off of the wall. I thought that was like a really solid play. This one more of just a standard power play setup, worked it to the point, and from there they were able to operate. It seems pretty simple on what they want to do from a power play standpoint. Let's get the pucks on net. Let's get it to the defenseman. Let's take away the eyes. But keep in mind, this is power play 2, right? So this is that second unit. It's not the top dogs. I like what this unit brings to the table, though. I was impressed. All right, so in the second period, I didn't like this move by Carter Hart. And Carter Hart as a whole, I thought that he was okay. He made some really impressive saves, and he was definitely stellar at times, whether Provorov threw a pizza delivery up the middle, a turnover up the middle, and Carter Hart made a stellar one. Or, look, there were some great scoring chances that Carter Hart just made it look simple and made it look easy, but I also thought he was shaky at times, and specifically in the second period, when you're behind the net and you're killing a penalty because Jake Voracek had an interference in the neutral zone, he's trying to thread the puck all the way down the ice, and of course, Sidney Crosby makes an outstanding play where he knocks the puck out of midair, and then with one hand on his stick, he pokes it into the wide open net. That is Sidney Crosby. No one else can do it at that level. I am mesmerized by those tiny plays that he does. There were so many little things that Sidney Crosby did out there today that just made me collapse from greatness, whether it's something as simple as utilizing his body and the boards to protect the puck, chipping the puck in the zone and doing some sort of spinorama to beat the defenseman and get to the puck early, stick lifts, all those tiny things that make the difference in getting to the puck first or not. He does it to this elite, lethal degree, and you know me. I mean, if you've been following this channel for quite some time when it comes to Flyers conversation, I love Sidney Crosby. So I even had to tweet that out when it happened. I tweeted out a gif of the goal and said, "You're damn right, I'm going to have a Sidney Crosby appreciation tweet." Even though it tied the hockey game up at 2-2, and I wasn't very happy with it, and I wasn't happy with Carter Hart's decision. Come on. You can't tell me that's not beautiful. And he almost made it look so nonchalant, as if that wasn't hard. Dude, you poked it in the net with one hand on your stick. I mean, that's not normal. That's what the greats do. And he's one of the best to ever lace up the skates. And I cherish every moment that I get to watch him be a force. How about that? I know that's sort of a hot take. From that moment, though, it was all Penguins in the second period. The Flyers were on their heel. They weren't able to grab momentum until the end of that second period, a couple chances. Kevin Hayes had a mini breakaway, wasn't able to finish. He stayed with it. The Flyers stayed with it. Got the Claude Giroux wide open in the slot, and he misses. I saw Nolan Patrick. This one was a little odd to me. Nolan Patrick had so much time and space, right? He was sort of in the higher slot area. He's got the puck on his stick, but the angle he took, knowing that there was a Flyer with him, I didn't like the angle. It somewhat blew up the play. He tried to make a drop pass, but there was a good back check involved as well. But those are the little things, as I keep mentioning, the little things that is the difference in getting a serious scoring chance or not. It all started with the angle Nolan Patrick took. I mean, dude, you're in the high slot. If you're going to wait and if you're going to allow someone to join the rush with you, okay, but how about you move a little bit to your left, allow that skater to come with you, the drop pass, it was just super awkward, and I thought, those are moments that can come back to bite you, right? Those are things that can be the difference in netting a bingo, or it goes the other way. Like, let's say that play gets blown up because of the drop pass. The Penguins go the other way, and before you know it, it's totally a different score. I hated it. Cash in and make it look nicer, right? It's not all about 100% needing to score in that moment. But it's almost as if the Penguins put it on a platter for you, and you went, I don't know if I want this really nice scoring chance. I'd rather mess it up. No. It was putrid. I'm not going to lie. This is what I love, though. The Flyers stayed with it. They were on their toes. Kevin Hayes to Joel Farabee at the goal line, and he attacks the blue paint from the goal line to the crease. Slams it home, Jari. Screw you, buddy. And the Flyers take a 3-2 lead heading into the third period. So at the end of the first period, granted it was a power play with about 7-8 seconds left, they made it a 2-1 hockey game. At the end of the second period, Joel Farabee just attacks the blue paint. Doesn't have to be pretty. Doesn't have to be so smooth. Doesn't have to be this play where it's tic-tac-toe and it's going to be on SportsCenter top 10. No, make it greasy. They don't ask how. They ask how many. And at the end of the second, even though the Flyers didn't really deserve to have the lead at that point because I thought the Penguins really applied pressure, they were really getting low and setting things up and getting some really nice chances on Carter Hart and getting some nice rushes. They weren't able to bury, and eventually the Flyers were going to grab a momentum swing. It was a matter of time. It will eventually occur, and when it did, boom. So the Flyers head into the third period with the lead. Then the Penguins get a too-many-men call seconds into the third. I thought at that moment, okay, go ahead. Take this damn game. That's silly. I'd be pissed if I was a head coach. You're telling me we just came out of the intermission, we just came out of regrouping, and you're going to take a too many men? Who's not aware? Who's not paying attention? It's sort of like in basketball, having a turnover after you call timeout. You call timeout, you reset, you draw up a play, you make sure that run that the other team went on simmers down a bit, and then you're going to turn the basketball over? That's nonsense. That's unacceptable. Well, when the Penguins came out like that, I was a little up. I had a little bit of juice because I thought that's so bad. That's so awful. That's such a horrendous statement. Yet, Tanev joins the rush. The Penguins make a beautiful pass. Not cross crease, but let's say top of the circle to top of the circle, so it was higher in the slot. It wasn't so much further in from the net. And Tanev, with not the greatest angle in the world, goes top cheese on Carter Hart. I would have liked for him to make that save. That's the type of save that I anticipate Carter Hart making. So from that goal and from the goal where Sidney Crosby knocked it out of midair, those are two things that Carter Hart really needs to clean up, in my opinion. I'm not going to crucify the man. I'm not going to crush him insanely. It's game one of the season. It wasn't as if you had all this preseason time to really get yourself comfortable. But if I'm going to analyze this game and assess it, I thought Carter Hart let up ones that he normally would close the door on. But that's not to take away from how impressive he was in some of those other moments, too. Slot area shots and shots from the point, getting some tips involved, and he was there. His reaction time was there. So he had outstanding plays as well. I don't want to make it seem like I'm just destroying him, but I wasn't his strongest. And I know that he has the mentality to improve. And I know if I asked him, here's the big thing that I take away from this. If I asked Carter Hart, hey, what'd you think about these 2 goals? And I mentioned those 2, he'd be like, yeah, I get those. I need to get those in the future. And I promise I will. That's the type of mentality he has, and that's what makes Carter Hart. So it's a tied hockey game, third period, 3-3. Depth scoring plays a role here, as you have aube-kubel, Scott Laughton, and Raffl just making plays, going to the net. Originally, you had to play, it was Laughton to aube-kubel. He misses it. Laughton goes and grabs the puck. He passes it back out to Raffl, who puts it in. A little bit of an ugly one that squeaks through the pads. Was it Scott Laughton to aube-kubel, and then Laughton got the puck from there? Whatever the combination was, I forget off the top of my head. Regardless, it ended up going from Laughton from the right side of the net to Michael Raffl, and that's something that we praised last season. The depth scoring was outstanding. That gave the Flyers the lead. Your fourth line was your game-crucial goal. How about that? And from there, the floodgates just opened. Travis Konechny, garbage into gold, as Mark Zumoff would say. What I loved about that goal was Sean Couturier going from the defensive zone all the way to the offensive zone, just battling off whoever's back-checking him, whatever, it doesn't matter, using his body perfectly in the neutral zone to get to the blue paint area. And here comes Travis Konechny following up the play to just bang it, baby. That gave the Flyers a 2-goal lead. And literally within seconds, Joel Farabee's on the right side of the wall. He goes far pad, which is my favorite play in hockey. And who's there? Kevin Hayes to clean it up. So bang, 6-3, the floodgates open late, and it was a beautiful sight, and it was highly entertaining, and I can't wait for the next game. When's that? I can't wait. Actually, I got the schedule right here in front of me. Friday night, Flyers, Penguins, I need more. You know what else I need? DraftKings. While the holiday season may be over, the sports calendar is in full swing this week. From collegiate to professional sports, there's no shortage of action. There's no better place to get in on all the action than with DraftKings Sportsbook. To celebrate this year's football playoffs, DraftKings is giving all new players the chance to bet on any of this weekend's professional football games at 100-1 odds. That's right. All you have to do is bet $1 on any football game this weekend, and if your team wins, you cash $100. Do not forget about the 2021 basketball season that tipped off. DraftKings has daily odds boosts. Download the top-rated DraftKings Sportsbook app now and use promo code BRODES when you sign up to get 100-1 odds on any football game this weekend. That's code BRODES for new players to get a shot at $100 on any football action this weekend. For a limited time, only at DraftKings Sportsbook. Must be 21 or older. Pennsylvania only. Restrictions apply. In partnership with Meadows Racetrack and Casino. See DraftKings.com/sportsbook for details. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. It's important to get out to an early, solid start. It's 56 games. Make sure you deliver. Make sure you start out on the right foot. And they absolutely did that. Now, the Penguins have been so dominant for so many years, they have been speculating. When I say they, I'm talking about the hockey world and the hockey analysts that, they are on the decline. Now, when you have Sidney Crosby, Evgeny Malkin, and some of these other studs, you're always going to be in the conversation, but they're not at their peak anymore, and I just question, what is this Penguins team? And only time will tell. Of course, it's game one. You want to learn the identity of these teams, but the trajectory of this squad is on the downfall. Where are they really? This division is going to be so brutal. It's going to be so intense with the Flyers, the Islanders, the Washington Capitals, the Bruins. It's going to be a tough matchup every single night. And if you could put together some wins. See, the one way I look at this, though, is because you're playing almost 2-game sets, and after the Penguins won, it's Buffalo. That's another team that's in the mix. Are you going to see a lot of splits? Because it's hard to beat a team 2 nights in a row. It's hard to beat teams two games in a row, right? Like, it's a difficult thing to do. Are you going to see a lot of splits based off of that? Just naturally throughout the league. I'm not talking specifically Philadelphia Flyers. I really hope not. I hope they can take the first 2 against the Penguins and kind of cruise from there. We'll see if they wake if they stay woke, I guess. That's not even that made no sense at all. Let's see if they can keep their foot on the gas. How about that? Damn. What the hell was I saying? Here's what I do know, though. I don't know what I just said, but what I do know is this. The Anytime Hotline was on fire. Let's hear from the people, shall we? That'll set us straight. All right, where are we here? So many calls. I can't even figure this damn thing out. I'm losing my damn mind over here. All right, here we go.
Hey, Brodes. The buzzer just ran. The Flyers are 1-0 on the season. One thing I am disappointed on is I think Carter Hart looks a little rusty out there. I think that's my only sad takeaway from tonight. But the power play's buzzing. The forwards are buzzing. Farabee looking good. Nolan Patrick getting a goal. Man, we've been waiting for that. But, yeah, it's a great start to be 1-0. Many more W's to come. Thanks, Brodes.
Absolutely. Thank you for making the call. Yeah, Nolan Patrick is a huge addition. I talked about depth scoring with that fourth line coming up crucial late in that third period to give you the 4-3 lead. But how about just Nolan Patrick on the third line? Oscar Lindblom, how dare I not mention him? And we know about the story he overcame cancer and all that, which is just outstanding out of him. That adds more as well. Like, the internal additions is tremendous. Oscar Lindblom, he's blocking shots, taking a big one, going to the bench, limping off. Part of me doesn't miss that at all because I went through so much physical pain in my career doing all the dirty work, but a little bit of me misses it at the same time. There's no better feeling than eating that biscuit, going to the bench. Oh, the boys are banging on the bench, right? They're hyping you up. They're giving you a good punch on the shoulder. Attaboy, Brodes! You know, nothing like that. Hearing it from the bench. You eat a biscuit, you chip the puck out of the zone, then you get off the ice. Oscar Lindblom, he was blocking shots. That's why I bring that up. And, you know, Nolan Patrick, yeah, it's great. For the Carter Hart thing, let's just chalk it up to game one. I really don't think this is going to be a big issue. Would I like for him to make more saves? Absolutely. Absolutely. I also think us stressing those goals that we don't like, if you really think about it, maybe we deserve to give him more credit for some of those saves that he did make, though. Because sometimes they were in close, there were some rebounds, there was some good puck movement in tight, and he was there, and he was active. So I know I was hard on him, and I still will be, because I expect more out of the kid, because I know it's in there, because I know he's capable. But I wouldn't put too much worry on it. I'll say that.
Great to have Flyers hockey back again, and just hockey in general. Obviously, great to start off with a win, 6-3, pretty comfortable win. Only things I saw, Carter Hart at fault for the second goal. Obviously, but I was happy to see a couple goals on the power play, and of course, Joel Farabee with a phenomenal game, 4 points, 3 assists, and a goal. You got to think he's the MVP, and you got to hope that on Friday we take him down again and really start the season off with a bang. Go Flyers!
Yeah, that would be incredible. For real, I'd be stoked. I'd be jumping up for joy for that one, no doubt about it. Both calls similar points, right? Joel Farabee in the power play. The power play is crucial. That was a huge downfall for this team last year. Now, I'm not going to say because they had one great game or Gustafsson came in and threw a couple biscuits on net that their power play is going to be lethal all season long. It's a great start, and it shows it's in there, and they are able to do it, and their philosophy can absolutely work. But look, you can go on a stretch of 5, 6 games, 7 games where your power play goes to hell, and you got to find a way to regroup. You got to find a way to mix things up and try something new. Power plays, they can be streaky, right? I mean, some are dominant all year, and some are brutal at times, and then they pick up here and there, or some teams just get right at the right time, and it gets hot when they need to. Even if they were abysmal all season long, right before the postseason, something clicks, and then it's like, wow, look at this new team for playoff hockey. Special teams wins and loses you games. You got to be strong on the penalty kill, and you got to be able to produce on the power play. Special teams wins and loses you games. It's a fantastic start. Hopefully, they keep this fantastic start?
First off, it felt damn good to be able to watch a Flyers game for the first time in months. Second off, it felt pretty damn good to beat the Penguins. 6-3. Farabee breaking out. 3 points, I think he had. Kevin Hayes with that last goal. Trying to connect me with that last goal. Those two of those goals back to back. Man, that was fun to watch.
You're damn right it was. Now, Joel Farabee actually ended with 4 points, excuse me, not 4 goals, 4 points, 3 assists. But isn't it just so great when you score quick goals? It's almost as if, you had that goal with Travis connecting, and keep in mind, you got to praise Sean Couturier for bringing the puck up like he did. But Travis Konechny brings the energy there, and you can hear the song, and the bench is going wild. You got to create your own energy, right? And I'm going to tie this to basketball once again. When Joel Embiid's playing, Dwight Howard, Tyrese Maxey, these guys on the bench, there's no one in the stands. You got to build that. So when you score a goal and you hear the feel the shake song and the guys are so energized on the bench, and then within literally the snap of your fingers, here comes Joel Farabee throwing a far pad biscuit on net, and Kevin Hayes is there to put in the rebound. I mean, you're talking about such an energy shift and a dagger in the hearts of the Penguins. There really is nothing greater. It's like you're still trying to process, okay, you're up 5-3 now. This is great. Damn, let's go! Can't even get tweets out fast enough. I had to combine both of those goals into one tweet. And I'm a big live tweeter during these games. So if you want to head over to Twitter at Brodes81, you should probably do that. It's a fun time. We're also going to be implementing some giveaways throughout the season, just saying. So if you haven't tossed a follow on Twitter, once again, at Brodes81, you're not going to miss those. Oh! What's this say?
Let's fucking go, baby! That's how you start this Flyers season. I don't think that could have been any more perfect. A close game only to end with us kicking the Pens' fucking ass. I can't believe I saw the statistics for Vegas showing the top 10 teams to win the Cup, and we weren't on there. I think Carolina was on there. That's just straight up disrespectful. This team's going to kick some ass this year, man.
Let's go, baby! Let's go! You got me all hyped up! Good, I want it that way. And I don't want to do this because I'm so bothered that the Eagles decided to do it 10,000 years in a row. But good, disrespect us. I want the Flyers to have that mentality. Flip them off. See, maybe they're not realizing how much of a stud Carter Hart can be. Granted, not the strongest game in this one, but let's be realistic. We've seen Carter Hart steal games, and he's only going to improve and grow and dominate to a lethal Carey Price level one day. And who's to say if he doesn't get hot at the right time, even during these young stages of his career, that he can't do it. I'm not going to write it off. But you know what? If the NHL doesn't think they can do it, then fine. Show them that they are wrong. You got the speed, you got the youth, you got the mixed-in veterans. Claude Giroux got on the scorer sheet. You got Jake Voracek rocking the third line. I mean, it's so damn awesome to see where this team is from a roster standpoint. I question the defensive players at times. I do question some of their 6D in the lineup at the moment. But you mentioned Joel Farabee. Did that caller mention Joel Farabee, or was it the 3 ones before that? I digress. When you have this mix of speed and youth and veterans, we saw it last year. Now it backfired because they didn't have enough goal scoring towards the end. That is still one of my concerns. And I'm hoping that Nolan Patrick and Oscar Lindblom can be the difference and make up for that. We always scream for that 40-goal sniper. They don't have that. The knock last year was they had a bunch of guys that gave you like 15 to 20 goals. Well, if you add a couple more of those 15 to 20 goal guys, is that enough, or do you still need that one sniper? I don't have that information. Sadly, the only way we're going to be able to tell is when this team plays the season out and we see the end result. But that call got me going. Damn!
Hey, Brodes, what's going on? It's your boy Ryan from Tampa. Look, they're raising a banner down here for the Bolts. Who cares? got that victory tonight versus Crosby and the Pens. What about Farabee, man? That kid is going to be special. So good tonight. We got to clean up the rebounds and, that missed turnover by Hart, playing that out. Hey, good start to the season. In terms of the Eagles, just say no to Todd Bowles and Kafka.
I don't even want to hear Eagles. I don't even want to hear Eagles. No. How dare you, Ryan? You're a good caller. You're a good Flyers listener. You're great. I love it. I appreciate everything you do. Don't you dare do that again. Don't you dare do that again. No. I won't accept it. What I will accept, though, is you heading down into the description and checking out Orbit Energy and Power. With over 20 years of experience in the industry, Orbit Energy and Power is home to your solar experts in residential and commercial projects. Their solar program helps eliminate your electric bill completely. They offer flexible financing solutions such as $0 down. In addition, they will make sure that you receive all the state and federal incentives available for switching to solar. They also provide water purification systems, backup energy services, battery storage, and more. So once again, check out their information. By the way, Ryan from Tampa, they're in Florida too. So I expect you to make that call. Now, unfortunately, I don't have time to take all of the calls that we got. So if you did not get your voice heard and you want to, make sure you call in next game. Like, sometimes it gets flooded to the point where I just got to pick a handful of them and then I rock and roll with those for the show. There's so many, but that's because I love you all so much and you all call in. It's outrageous. We use these calls on 97.3 ESPN as well, so if your call didn't get played here, that one possibly gets picked to be played on the radio. I wish I could play them all. I really do. Like, I truly mean that. It's just sometimes I run out of time, right? I mean, there's only so much I can do. I love you all. I love you all. Thank you so much for listening, and I will see you next time.